Predatory Beetles, bioactive desert setup. This could be the best one yet. Hello, and welcome. I'm Mitch. This is Unseen Universe, and here we are yet again, and it's another bioactive setup. But it's a bioactive setup with a twist. That's right, guys. It's a desert bioactive setup. Now, I've never done one of these before. I'm very excited. In fact, I'm really pumped about this one because it's something new. And I'm hoping it's going to be something absolutely amazing, and we're all going to learn something new. So, if you've got experience with desert bioactive setups in the house, please feel free to chip in and tell us all about it. We would love to hear all about it. We've also got predatory beetles, guys. Graphipterus serrator, Egyptian predatory beetles. They're North African predatory beetles. They are absolutely amazing. They're something a little bit different to your usual Anthea kind of predatory beetles. They are absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited to get these rehoused into something a little bit more deserving of them and what they deserve. Absolutely. So anyway, without further ado, we need to crack on. We need to bring on my partner in crime, my right-hand man, helping me to help you, helping everybody. It's Gabala from Impossible Inverts.
Gavla from Impossible Inverts.
I nearly said Unseen Universe, but obviously you kind of are from Unseen Universe, but that's not what we say tonight. So anyway, how's it going, Gav?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm a little bit tired, I'll be honest with you, mate. I've been working hard. I was just telling Gav a minute ago that this setup has basically taken me longer than any other setup to kind of work on. I'm really glad I started it early this afternoon. I've been mixing soil, I've been mixing sand, I've been mixing vermiculite. I've got about 4 different types of substrate that I'm going to use tonight. But we're going to talk about all that, and we're going to talk about the reasons why I've got all these different types of substrates. But first, Gav, let's see who we've got in the house. Who we got in the house, guys? Hello, welcome everybody. Who have we got? Peter Williamson is in the house. Peter and Kian, how's it going, guys? Good to have you back. I think we missed you in the last one, but welcome. Peter and Kian, I hope you guys are all right, guys. How you doing? Very good. Who else have we got? Stuart's in the house. I noticed Stuart's comment earlier. He was here nice and early, making sure that he was in. No cup final for you tonight, Stuart. Peter is in the house. Invert Laws, how's it going, Peter? You all right, my friend? I hope you're feeling a little bit better day by day by day, getting stronger and stronger and stronger, I hope. So it's good to have you with us, my friend. We've got Greg from 8 Legs 4 Wheels. How's it going, Greg? Good to have you, man. I hope you and your good lady are fighting fit tonight. It's really good to have you, as always. Mark Northern White is in the house. How's it going, buddy? I haven't seen you for a little while. I hope you're all right, my friend. Claire, Aruna Exotics. It's our Claire. She's becoming a regular. She's going to have to be our Claire from now on, isn't she? So there you go.
Exactly.
Thanks for tuning in, Claire. Jeremy is in the house. How's it going, Jeremy? You all right, my friend? I hope you are well. I know you'll be excited about this one as well, my buddy, because I think Jeremy might have some of this particular species as well. I can't remember what he said now. He probably has. Jeremy's got everything.
Possibly, yeah, he's got everything.
So there you go. The Invert Kingdom UK, how's it going, guys? That's our Francis. How's it going, buddy? If Ebbs is there, welcome to you also. I hope you're both well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mandy Hewitt, evening all, says Mandy. How's it going, Mandy? Welcome, welcome. Thank you. I think Mandy was here with us one of the previous streams, wasn't she? I'm sure I recognise that name. This is relatively new. I think she might have been with us the other day. I'm not entirely sure. So Peter says Kian is excited to see what's happening this stream. We did miss the last one, but here for this one, big thanks for the masks for Kian. He really enjoyed them. That is, you are more than welcome. It's always my pleasure to try and make people's lives a little bit more jolly and a little bit happy. I sent young Kian a little one of those little masks that I give away from time to time, Gav. If you're wondering.
Oh, yeah.
Insect masks. I gave him one to colour in for himself, and it was another one that you just wear, buzzing around the house like a little bee. I'd completely
forgotten about them until we were at last show and they were in that bag.
People tell me that their kids have got a birthday and it's a present for them, or if I know people have got young kids, I just throw them out now and again, just as a little something to, One of these days I'm going to send. I remember I sent one out to somebody. They said that it's my son's birthday. I sent him a little mask out, and then I got a photo saying, "This is my son loving his mask." He was about 25. so yeah, that was quite funny.
Why not?
But to be fair, he still loved his mask. He was still running around the house with his little mask on, so that was cool. There you go. Gav's a sexy beaver. I think I agree. So there you go. I'm a beautiful bean. You're a beaver. I'm a bean. There you go. But you're sexy. I'm beautiful. I think that's probably about sums it up, really. There you go. One of these species, is one of this species, just one. Just got the one, Jeremy. Just got the one of this species. Okay, fine, cool. I've got 14, so there. Mine's bigger than yours. My tank's bigger than your tank. Although no, Jeremy's probably got one in a massive tank like this. Anyway, I'm super excited. We've got a lot to get through. I think we are going to have to crack on because we're going to talk you through a little bit of what we're going to be getting up to. 8 Legs 4 Wheels. Greg says giveaway tomorrow and then a special unboxing Wednesday featuring a special guest. We'll have to tune in for that one. Although same Wednesday. Special unboxing on Wednesday. If it's 9 o'clock, I'm going to miss it, dude. That's all I'm saying. So there you go. But yes, we'll tune in tomorrow for your
stream.
We'll tune in tomorrow anyway, Greg. Don't worry about that, my friend. I'll be interested to see what the heck is going on with that. So right, I think that is everybody. I think we've said hello to everybody. Let's get Big Fish in. So there we go. My beautiful tank. So you can see I bought this tank specially because at the moment I've got my Predatory Beetles since I bought them. How long have I had them now, Gav? It's been blimey, it must be
3-4 weeks.
Must be at least 4 to 6 weeks now I've had them, and I've had them like in temporary digs, and it's fine, but it's just been a sand. It's been a sand substrate. I've got them like in a big plastic tub, with a few inches of sand, but. I have noticed that they do love to dig. There's a lot of digging going on, and I was just thinking, do they want to? They probably, they're from the desert, they're from North Africa and certain other arid areas, and basically, you can imagine they come out during the day and they hunt around a little bit. But I imagine there's long periods of the day when it's a little bit too hot, or even in the evenings when they're taking shelter. They probably have all kinds of tunnels. They dig underground, and I do know that these, from what I've read, that this species, along with which is quite common amongst many North African predatory species, including antheas. They do like to habitat the kind of termite and ant hills. And they do go in there. They enter these ant nests, and they basically take on the same chemical messages, the same chemical signature as the ants, and that allows them to come in and out of the ant's nest without being attacked as a foreign body by the ants. It's a very, very cool thing to do. It's actually quite common in the world, in nature, and it's something that they do, which is absolutely amazing. And the reason they do that is because obviously an ant's nest is very, very well protected, very well guarded, and it provides a heck of a lot of protection for those beetles. Now, the other thing that the beetles get out of this relationship is not only do they get a shelter out of it, but they get protection from the ants. But they also, when they have their young, the larvae of the beetles, they feed off the brood of the ants themselves. So they store the ants' brood, the brood of the ants, in the nests, and they eat those as they develop. As the larvae of the beetles develop, they eat those. So it's a very, very cool relationship. I would say it's a symbiotic relationship, Gav, but I'm not entirely sure what the ants get out of it. So part of me feels like it might just be kind of a parasitic kind of relationship. Almost.
Either that or they add to protection.
Yeah, well, exactly, because
if they feed off a small species of ant that don't have, like, say, massive guards or soldiers, then
exactly,
these could aid in giving them extra protection.
I mean, let's face it, a colony of ants is formidable in its own right. Nobody's, especially like in the desert, when you get these huge nests, ant nests, with the columns and the mounds. They're so massive. They are totally massive. So I think they're more than capable of protecting themselves. But if there are some like quite big, predators, maybe things that like the ants, the beetles might be able to fend off a little bit better than the ants or whatever. But you know what? I'm not entirely sure what that could be. I mean, 1,000 ants all over here has got to be more formidable than half a dozen predatory beetles, right? I mean, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's death by 1,000 stings, isn't it? It's death by 1,000 formic acid injections. That's what an ant's nest does to you. So, But anyway, suffice it to say, this is a symbiotic stroke parasitic. Jeremy is in a similar kind of mind to me. He thinks maybe it's more of a parasitic than symbiotic, but perhaps let's not take away from the beetles. Maybe they do provide the ants with something that we just don't understand yet. So it's but nonetheless, it's a relationship that occurs in nature, and is quite common throughout a lot of the different genus of predatory beetles in northern parts of Africa and all those other arid regions. So basically, I'm going to come back to this later on because it's actually very, very fascinating, and we could talk about this all night, couldn't we, Gav?
Yeah, quite easily.
We do often talk about these things, but we need to crack on because it's already 9:20 and I haven't stopped talking yet. I need to crack on. I've got a lot to do.
Build to do.
I've got a lot to do, but it's just such a fascinating subject. We could talk all day about it. So, but we're going to come back to the whole ants things because from what I can gather, you need ants or the ant brood in order for the larvae of the beetles to develop. And so without those, I'm not sure. And this is why I don't think anybody's managed to successfully breed generations from from any predatory beetles, whether it be the Antheas or whatever, or the Graphipterus. So, and I think that's the reason why people have just not yet managed to recreate exactly what they need. There's some chemical compound that they get from the ants that they require, I think, for that development to occur. Anyway, we might touch back on this later on, but I think we might have said it all already. Basically, what we're going to do is, I've decided, in order to maximise the chances of recreating what I think is a natural habitat for these North African predatory beetles, is to provide like a varying environment. And what I mean by that is, I feel like if we were to have a nice dry arid area on one side of the tank, and then we can have that moving slowly like a gradient into a more moist, slightly more humid environment. So moist. We'll leave that for Scott's stream, man. They can have moist. We've got the list.
Papaya.
So yeah, so basically the plan tonight is to have a quite a deep substrate. I'm going to have about substrate up to about halfway. Now the substrate up to about halfway is basically going to be a substrate in which the beetles can dig. I've got a feeling, because I've been watching them in my sand-filled box, and they're basically scratching away, trying to dig. Now whether or not they're trying to dig because they want to make tunnels, which is probably part of it, but I think they also might be trying to dig in order to find somewhere safe and relatively a little bit more humidity and cooler environment for them to maybe lay some eggs or whatever. So
that's the other thing with ants' nests, because ants' nests, they're designed in such a way that they allow a circulation of air.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would form the perfect climate for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what they want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I've done my Mitch's magic mix of sand and vermiculite. So what I do is I wet some vermiculite and then I add some sand and make a mixture of that, and that is going to go on the bottom layer. I'm going to have that all in the bottom, and that is basically going to be an environment that's hopefully going to retain its moisture, but also provide an environment from which they can dig down and create maybe some tunnels. So we're going to do that. Lovable Spoods is in the house. Welcome back, Lovable Spoods. We've got them. We've got one. We've got one. Came in for the jumping spider stream. Thank you so much for coming and joining us again. We've got something. This is the beauty of the Unseen Universe live streams, is that we do something a little bit different, and we do a wider variety of things. So we did the jumping spiders before, and tonight we are doing predatory beetles. Right, guys, I'm going to get started in getting this substrate sorted out, because it needs to be done first. I hope you like me lovely new tank. Bought this tank today. Not today, it came today. It was a last minute job, came about 7 o'clock. I was starting to sweat a little bit. So, we're going to get this in. Basically, like I was just saying, this bottom layer is going to be about a third to halfway up the tank. And this is my own creation. It's basically about 60% vermiculite. And what I do is I soak the vermiculite very well with water, obviously. Let it soak up all that lovely water, and then I add about 40% of sand. So, and the reason for this is because it kind of acts like excavator clay. Now, if any of you guys have used excavator clay before, you'll know that it's good stuff. I'm not denying that, but I do think that it can be problematic sometimes with excavator clay getting the right consistency, because sometimes you can add a little bit too much excavator clay, and before you know it, after a little bit of time, it's hardened up really, really hard. and it can be too hard for your critters to excavate. Basically, you kind of have to get it just right. Or you might be add too much water, and it might not be, it might not do the job. They might dig a tunnel and it might just collapse. But I found that this mixture that I kind of stumbled across, made by, well, I was kind of forced into using it because I ran out of excavator clay, so I had to use
necessity.
it. And, yeah, it kind of necessity forced me to be inventive, so as the saying goes, and I came up with this idea of like soaking vermiculite up in water and then adding the sand, and it's actually a really, really nice substrate, isn't it, Gav?
Yeah, yeah. Works quite well.
I've just remembered I've forgotten my little pot with my vermiculite in. Wait a second, it's just outside the door. Right. So I've come up with this little idea where what I've decided to do is I've created a little pot which I've cut the lip off a couple of sides. So it's just a regular tub that we all know and love, that we get our inverts in when we get spiders and stuff delivered to us with the holes in the side. And I've basically just cut the lip out of the corner like that. And basically what the idea is, I've filled this with vermiculite and soaked it through. The idea is I'm going to, on the side where I'm creating my little oasis on this side with a couple of little plants, what I want to do is I also want to create, what's going on?
Looks like Rice Krispie cake on the camera.
It does, doesn't it? It does look lovely. I am crafting a beautiful thing here, I hope, and it does look kind of edible. Do you know what this looks like? This looks like the base. This looks like a cheesecake base to me. It's making me feel very hungry. So basically, let's get back to some actual information, shall we? What I've done is I've created this. I've cut out the lips. I've filled it with vermiculite, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this side dry, and this side is going to have some lovely succulents, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. I'm going to create a little oasis on this side here, and then this has got all the vermiculite in. I'm going to cover this. I'm going to build up the substrate up to the same level, and then I'm going to cover this with a little bit of sand and soil, and then put a piece of corkbark over it. And the reason I've put that there like that is because I'm hoping that because that's nice and moist all the time, I'm going to constantly keep that wet. Well, not wet through, but just moist. And like maybe once a week or once a fortnight, I'm going to just soak water down into this corner, fill that with water, and then hopefully the water is just going to seep out, and just a little bit of water is going to trickle via osmosis into the succulents are just going to suck up just enough moisture, hopefully, for them to be happy. So I think, hang on. So I think the idea is that I'm hoping to encourage, if the beetles want to lay some eggs, I'm hoping they're going to come over here. If they do indeed require a more humid or even a moist area for them to insert their eggs, I'm hoping that this is where they're going to do it. It's pure vermiculite. It's going to be kept wet. Now the reason I've done this is because over the years I've bred a few different species of assassin bugs, and I've had really good success at creating a little dish like this filled with and kept it wet vermiculite, and the assassin bugs will go over to this area and they will lay their eggs in the vermiculite, and it works really well. They inject their eggs and they hatch, and you get all the nymphs hatching out of this bit, and then they just come out of the side and they migrate out into the rest of the area. I've been doing this for years with assassin bugs. It's actually been really, really successful. So I'm hoping the same sort of principle is.
I just love the word,
Thanks, guys. I mean, I could bore you to death and explain to you exactly what osmosis is if you want.
No, there were an animation called Osmosis Jones.
Yeah.
Proper cool.
So that's the basic principle, guys. I want them to have a little oasis damp area for them to lay their eggs, and I'm hoping that if that's something that they want to do, I'm hoping that that's what they're going to do. So we'll see. So yeah. There you go. Greg's done that with his assassins. I've been doing this for years now, Greg, with the assassins, and it works really, really well. Right, so I've put that in place. Basically, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the rest. So it's coming up to just below halfway with the substrate. So we'll do that. Is anybody saying anything interesting in the chat, Gav, or are they all just having a big laugh at my expense?
Yeah, they're all talking about being moist.
Okay. They're all a bit obsessed with that, aren't they? I don't really get it, to be honest. It's just, I don't really understand.
It's a funny word.
It's a funny word. It's a funny word. It is.
I don't think I can eat your cheesecake. Its base is too thick.
The base is now too thick. When I make cheesecakes, I do not make the base this thick. So just so everybody knows. Right, let's get this sorted. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this down a little bit because I want a little bit of a gradient in terms of what I want to do is I want to have it lower down at this end. Because I want to make it a bit more interesting than having it just all the same level.
There we are. Peter's explanation for osmosis.
Thanks, Peter. I kind of made a living out of understanding what osmosis was. But thanks for the info, dude. There we go. Peter's copied and pasted straight out of Google. Good lad. Right. How far up are we now? I think we just need to make it a little bit deeper on this side now. And then I'm going to start positioning some plants. Just going to drop that down a little bit because the idea is that I'm going to put some soil on this side because that's where I'm going to have my little oasis. And if anybody's got any objections,
go see the headmaster.
Cool. Is what I say. So I'm just going to make it a little bit lower on this side because what I want to do is I want to add some. I do want to add some soil because I'm basically planting some succulents. So even though I want it quite, I want that vermiculite sand base. I also want to have some soil. I've made like a soil, sand, peat soil, cocoa fibre, vermiculite substrate. Right, I think that's deep enough, Gav. What do you reckon? We're about up to there. Got to think about
a little bit higher.
A little bit higher, do you think, on this side?
Yeah.
Got tons left here now to do a good rehouse for those. You what? Sorry.
They're a fair size, aren't they? What, about an inch and a half?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, yeah. Actually, they are, aren't they? So, yeah.
And I'm just thinking, if the tunnel down, that's only like.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to think about. I know they can't climb grass, so I'm not too worried about. But I do want to leave a reasonable amount of space at the top. You know, I am actually going to add a layer of substrate, soil, sand substrate over the top of this as well. So I'll just add one more scoop, and then that'll do. Right. That'll do. That will do. Let's just pat it down a bit because obviously if they're going to be tunneling, we want to make sure. We want to make sure that
as fast as you can.
It's not going to collapse on them, so we have to just make sure it's nice and patted down, compact.
Mitch.
Yes, dude. Sorry, what? Are you talking to me?
No, I was singing Batter Cake.
There. Right, I am going to add a bit more now. I've patted it down a bit. Sorry, guys. I know it's a bit boring while I'm doing this, but, you know, it needs must and all that. I'm going to switch the cameras in a minute. What I'm doing. The reason I've not done it yet is because, well, it's not very exciting, is it, looking at this from above? Anybody saying anything, Gav? Anything going on?
Yeah, that you need sandcastles, deck chairs in there, and some beach towels.
Do you know what? The ironic thing is like I actually really hate sand. I hate. You ask Becky, man. When I go on holiday, I can't. I don't mind walking on it, but you know, like when Becky wants to have like a little picnic on the beach and to have fish and chips on the beach and stuff, I can't stand it. I have to stand up and eat. I hate to say it, but it's the autism in me. It's true, man. I can't deal with it, dude. Honestly, I'm really, really bad. Right, I think that'll do.
Pina coladas.
Right, just going to do a bit sweep. Right, guys. Sorry about that. I know that was a little bit boring. Okay. Right. Let's just have a little chat because basically here we are. We've now got our foundation base, and what I'm going to do is I'm now going to talk about the plants that I'm going to plant because that's what I'm going to do next. I have picked up some rather beautiful succulents from the funky cactus. The funky cactus. If you've been in my streams before when I've done bioactive, I did the bioactive builds for the Sazima. You might remember those. I bought a few plants from a cracking little shop called the Funky Cactus. They're based in Morley. They have a little shop. They're on Facebook also. So if you're anywhere near Morley or Leeds area, you might want to check them out. Funky Cactus. Nicola,
they post out as well.
You what? Sorry.
They do post as well.
I was actually just about to come on to that because I wasn't entirely sure whether or not they posted out. But I was just about to ask you, Gav, if you knew if they posted out. It's something I forgot to ask Nicola when I was there. So yeah, they post out as well. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be from Morley. But if you are from Morley or around the Leeds area and you fancy showing a bit of love and support and you love your plants with a focus on cacti and succulents and all that sort of good stuff, really like exotic plants and stuff that's a little bit different, Nicola over at Funky Cactus is an absolute legend. She's absolutely wonderful. She's very, very knowledgeable. She's an absolute lovely lady. And every time I go in there, I could spend all day talking about plants. And we have a little chat about the projects that I do, such as this. And she's always more than helpful. We talked about what succulents. I told her the conditions and the setup I was going to be having. She advised me on the types of succulents that I would need. And yeah, we had a little chat. She's absolutely lovely, Nicola. I know that she said she can't really make it for the live stream. But she did say she might pop in for the rerun and watch it at another time. So, Nicola, thank you so much. It's the Funky Cactus. They are in Morley Town Centre. They are based there, but they do post out. They do deliver. So check out their their Facebook page. They make regular updates. I know Nicola does lots of little live streams talking about what she's doing. I know she just recently did one for cuttings on succulents and things like that. So it's all good stuff. They've got a Facebook group as well where people get together and talk about cactus and stuff. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy going down there, and I'm always going there for some stuff, and you should too. So get over there and go and see them. And like I said, if not, if you can't get to the shop, they do have an online presence, and you should go and message them and see what's going on Facebook for their stock, because they do post out. So thank you, Nicola. Thank you so much. The Funky Cactus, guys. Go check it out. Gav has dropped a link in the chat. If you're interested in that sort of thing, go and see what they've got on offer. So thank you, Nicola. And I hope I do you proud with sorting these succulents out. So we'll see how it goes. Right, I have picked up a few different ones. A couple of Crassula from the Crassulaceae family. I probably butchered that, but it's the Crassula Buddha's Temple. Is the first one that I've got. I love this one. It's absolutely beautiful. So obviously this is a house. These are all like houseplant succulents, but obviously you can put them out in the summer if you so wish. Yeah, these are all from. They're actually all these, Gav. They're native to South Africa and Mozambique. So I know our predatory beetles are from North Africa, but we're on the right continent, which I think.
Yeah.
I think at this stage
we're halfway there.
We're kind of halfway there. So there you go. So we've got this this awesome Buddha's temple. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring Big Fish on the stream, just so I can show you. So we've got this lovely Buddha's temple. I love that. This one does actually flower. Let's get a little bit more light on the go. This one does actually flower. There you go. You can see it. That's beautiful, that, isn't it? I love that. So we've got that, and then we've also got the Crassula ovata, which is the jade plant. So there we go. We've all seen them before. Beautiful. And then we've got a couple of other succulents from the Haworthia family. Haworthia. From the, I'm not going to mention what family it is because I can't say it. But anyway, these are Haworthia. That's a generic term for many succulents like this. So yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them.
It's a similar family to aloe vera, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I knew there was something else I meant to mention. Yeah, they're definitely, especially, you can just see, can't you, the way the leaves are. Yeah, so they're closely related to the aloe vera family, I think. So there you go. Yeah, beautiful. So I'm going to put these. I haven't decided if I'm putting them all in just yet. I don't really know whether or not I'm going to put them all in. I'm definitely putting the Buddha temple in. I'm going to do that one first. I just need to get my little pot. So basically what I've mixed here is, it's my next level substrate mixture. I've mixed some peat soil, a little bit of compost, some cocoa fibre, some vermiculite, and then sand, and that's what this mixture is. I spoke to Nicola about, because originally she suggested I put them in. She suggested I just put them in porous pots, because I told her about the vermiculite substrate that I was going to put in, and she said it'd be good to just pot them, because I suggested potting them straight in the pots and leaving them in the pot, because I was a bit concerned about the substrate. But she said, use a porous pot, that'll be fine. But then when I told her about the substrate I was planning to use and this mixture I was going to make, she said, you know what, if you're going to use that, just take them straight out of the pot and plant them straight in. They'll be fine. Because I told her about my idea about keeping this bit dry, leading into a slightly more moist area. But this area is going to be kept relatively dry where the succulents are. But I'm going to keep this wet, and I'm hoping the water is just going to be drawn over to the succulents. So that's the plan. And when I told her about that little plant, she said, you know what, that sounds fantastic, go for it. So I'm going for it. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of a base of that substrate. We'll put the plants in. going to put the Buddha's temple in first. Because I definitely want this one in. I love this one.
It's the biggest one as well, isn't it? So
it's the biggest one, so I'm going to put that one in first at the back.
It'd be easier to work around it, won't it?
I just need to stand up a sec because it's not breaking out as easy as I would have liked. There we go. There we go. There we go. So, there we have it. Buddha's temple. Beautiful. I love that. Just secure that down a little bit. So I'm going to put that one there, and then I'm going to put. I think I've decided to put another tall one. Oh yeah, that's the one. I was going to put this one at the front. That's definitely ready for a rooting, or a repotting, that baby. So we'll put that one down there. I'll just loosen up the soil around the roots because they were quite tightly constricted there. There we go. Right, I'm going to put the jade plant also a little bit set back a little bit. Get that out. There we go. I think they do well quite close together, don't they? So. And then, just one more, I'm going to put this other one at the front as well. And there, it's lovely. Lovely little oasis. Right. Let's just put a little bit more of this substrate in. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. It's all very I didn't mean for that to happen. I need to get my brush. Yeah, I didn't mean for that to happen. Right. That Buddha's temple needs a little bit more support, you know, because it's.
Is it floppy?
A little bit, yeah, but it's fine. I'm just gonna push push down the substrate. I need to get my little blow. I've got it here. Oh, you know what? Beauty. Got my little blow device for when you change your camera lens. You blow this on the perfect. So happy I had this here.
It looks like Bomb from Young Ones.
Right, look at that. I'm well chuffed. So these two at the back, the Buddha's Temper and the jade plant, they will obviously grow quite tall, relatively tall anyway. So right, a little oasis for me. Yes, that's right, my friend. But more importantly, a little oasis for the lovely, lovely beetles. Okay, let's just take stock, shall we? Right, we've created our little oasis. I am going to put some little, a few bits and pieces around that as well. I've got some. I'm just wondering if I need a little bit more soil. Just adding to the side here. Let me just push that in because that succulent just needs a little bit more building up around it, I think.
Should get Charlie Dimmock in.
Ooh, Charlie Dimmock. Have you seen her lately? She's not what she used to be like, man.
She's not.
Oh dear. I used to love me a bit of ground force.
It's just stuff that's it about though.
I used to love a bit of ground force. Time Team and Ground Force, man, two of my favourite programs of back in the day. My goodness. Right, guys. We've done it. We've got our little oasis. What do you reckon? Is that all right for everybody? I think that's all right. There you go. Nicola, if you're watching, I hope that looks all right. I hope they look okay. I am going to give them a little bit of a watering. I know that succulents, they don't need much water, but obviously 101 when you're replanting plants, you always give them a little bit of water. It doesn't matter what they are. At least I think so anyway. Oh, I just made that.
Because you want the roots to.
Yeah, exactly. You want the roots to take up. So I'm just going to give them a little bit of water, and then we're going to start putting all the other cool stuff in, guys. So I'm just going to give these a little bit of a watering. Not too much. Just because they've just been planted, the roots need to re-establish themselves, obviously, and water, obviously, is the elixir of life, basically. That'll do for now. Lovely. Lovely. Right, guys. What do we reckon? Are we happy? Are we happy? There we go. A lovely little oasis area. I've got my vermiculite pot here, which what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet that maybe once a week. And I'm hoping, because I've cut the lid off, and obviously we've got those tiny porous holes in these tubs. That's why I chose these tubs specifically, so that the water will drain through and it'll just trickle out a little bit, and then these succulents will just absorb, hopefully, just the right amount of moisture that they might need or want. So what I'm going to do is I've actually got I've got some fine stones. I'm just going to add some of those. That'll just help lock in the
I think, Peter, that's mainly when they're in pots. when they're in this, because they'll dry out quite quickly in here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I am only gonna add water to this like once every now and again. I mean, I said once a week. I probably won't even do that. I'm just gonna see how it goes, to be honest with you. It's a little bit trial and error. So I'm just gonna see how it goes, to be honest. It's my first time doing a little succulent oasis garden in a tank like this.
Hey, and if it fails, then at least we know.
Yeah, well, I mean, normally you just leave them in the pots, don't you? Unless you're a bit of a sculptor of plants, you know, and you have those you keep them in like lovely terrariums and stuff. But to be honest, it's not something I've ever really got into that much. We've got a lot of succulents around our house, which I'm sure a lot of people do, and but they're all just in their own regular little pots. So right, guys, that's it. I'm done with that. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer up a little bit of substrate over the top. I have basically got. I'm going to layer up a little bit of this sand soil substrate that I've vermiculite substrate that I've got first. It's basically just to, for no other reason than to just create different textures on the floor, basically. And I'm just going to layer it. It's just to add a bit more interest for me, for you, for everybody, and for the beetles if they even care. So I am just
all right.
All right, Andy. Better late than never, my friend. You have just missed. Well, you've missed all the cool chat about beetles and ant nests and all kinds of stuff. So, well, I'm sure we'll come back to that. So yeah, there we go. I've covered up all the plastic bits, pretty much. There we go. Now, what I want to do is I want to add a little bit more sand to this side. Well, actually, for most of it. So we're going to have a top layer of sand. Oh, the beetles are going to love this, man. I know I've forgotten to show you.
What have you forgot?
I've forgotten to show you. Now, I bought this, right? I bought something that I really wanted to use because it's corny, it's a bit cheesy, it's a bit obvious, it's a cliche, but I don't care. I bought it, but it's actually, and I knew it was going to be a little bit too big, but I bought this.
there's your sandcastle.
But look, it's hollow at the bottom. And the reason I bought it is because what my idea was to not only add a little bit of fun to the enclosure, I thought I'd put it in this corner like that. But what I thought I could do is fill it with the sand vermiculite substrate, and then they can go into the holes and they can dig out and they can create a little chamber. I thought it'd be like almost like an anthill mimic, That's what I was thinking. What do you reckon, Gav?
Yeah, why not?
Is it too cheesy? It's a bit big. That's the problem. It's a bit bigger than I wanted. Now,
well, you could partially bury it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. That's why I just said I've forgotten to do it, because I actually meant to put it in first, but I'm gonna bury it down a little bit. What do you reckon, guys? Shall we go for it? Let's go for it, man. This is what I was thinking. I'm gonna fill it full of the sand vermiculite substrate. So I'm gonna do that right now, and then I'm gonna go for it, man.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'll do it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it right now. Where's me? Where's me majiggy?
Is it majiggy? Oh, it's next up. What do you call it?
Sorry, bear with me because I've lost me. I've lost me mini scoop. What have I done with that? Oh well. I'll have to just use the big one. Right, bear with me, guys. Sorry, I'm just gonna fill this and pack it in. There we go. Done. Don't need that long, did it? Right, done. Right, everybody. This is the plan. I've got a plan. I'm doing a plan. So I filled it. I filled it up with the wet vermiculite stroke sand, and I'm basically going to. Oh, I really want that thing, dude. Why can't I find it?
Oh, green scoop.
Yeah, little green scoop. What the hell have I done with it? Just a little one. Oh, still what? I'm an idiot. It's still in the bag of sand. Right. So I'm going to just dig this out a little bit.
I don't think I'd want a mouthful of substrate.
Yeah, well, you're not an awesome predatory beetle from Africa, are you?
No. Lovable spoods. Just watching a lassie walking around with a mouthful of substrate. I don't fancy a mouthful.
You know what? That didn't work.
The grit between your teeth, man. I used to wear that when I was digging graves.
Right. So obviously I've not been able to maintain the filled void in the middle. So I'm going to have to just fill it from the outside. So the idea is, guys, not only is this going to offer a certain level of authenticity, because it just looks that mint. The idea is that if I fill it with sand, with the vermiculite, wet vermiculite and sand substrate, the idea is that because in their natural habitat, they basically live amongst the ants in ant hills. I thought it'd be quite cool to have a little bit of a mound like this, completely full of the what I'm calling Mitch's excavator sand. And
due to copyright infringements.
Right. So I'm just gonna be all Tony Robinson for a minute. So if we just brush gently away, we can see.
Oh, you could have done your best Phil there.
Oh, Phil. Forgot about Phil.
I tell you what, Tony.
I can't do a because he was from the black country, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah, like deep in.
I can't do accents. I'm like Jonathan Ross. I've got like one accent for all continents of the world, and I don't. I don't do them because I'll just offend people. Anyway, so we're just gonna brush away the excess, just to reveal the beautiful ancient pyramid, and obviously one of the seventh wonders of the world, the Sphinx. Anyway, what do you reckon, guys? What do you reckon? Looking all right so far? Looking all right? I just need to brush away.
I've seen pyramids and Sphinx.
You have?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been in one at pyramids as well.
That's awesome, man. It is somewhere that I think we would. It was definitely on our hit list. You know, like when we were planning, like how we were going to visit all parts of the world, different continents and stuff. And then obviously with Arthur, we can't really do anything.
Yeah, so I think they advise against you travelling there at the moment because it's a bit unstable, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a shame.
Right. There we go. Can't really tell whether that looks any good or not, but anyway, I'm gonna brush up. I'm gonna clean this pyramid up better later because it just needs. I don't want to clean it up too much because I think it'll add to the authenticity, won't it? If I leave it quite sandy, but I think that'll do for now. There we go, guys. Right. Okay. I wasn't sure how people were going to feel about the old pyramid idea, but I've gone for it. Right, let's get some sand in now. Take that out. Right, let's get some more sand in. So we're gonna have total sand sort of environment around the pyramid and Sphinx area around this side. Just add a bit more. Is Jeremy being sarcastic? Because that's the kind of thing
being genuine.
I know. I don't think Jeremy's got a sarcastic bone in his body, has he? Or maybe he just likes us to think he am. Super nice guy, Jeremy.
Nice ones that you got to watch out for.
I know, exactly. Right. I'm going to rough that up in a minute. And I've also got basically some forest floor bark chippings, and this is just to add a little bit more. It's basically to try and gradient the habitat, so it's going from sand, kind of slowly moving
Looks
into
quality, that.
a little bit more of a foresty type atmos, and then obviously we've got the succulents right there. Right, what else can we do? We've got a few bits and pieces also now to add. I've got a couple of stones, a couple of a bit of dried up sphagnum moss just to add to a little bit more texture. I've also got a piece of corkbark put in this corner because I want to cover the that vermiculite kind of thing that I've created. I am just looking for the corkbark that I found. I don't know if it's... So I'm just going to put this in this corner. So that's just going to go there. So they can run behind that if they wish. There we go, piece of cork bark there. And then I'm going to put another piece of cork bark. I wanted a smaller piece really because I've got a couple of smaller pieces here.
They're all at lock-up though, aren't they?
You what, dude?
They're all at lock-up, aren't they?
Yeah, it's fine. I just wanted a couple of smaller pieces because they do like to. They basically of an evening, once they've done running around like crazy all day, they do like to hide, just live like sleep under the cork bark most nights. So we'll put another piece, kind of. Here and another piece here. There we go. Right, we've got a few stones to put in. I've got these 3 choice stones. So, how's it looking, everybody? Is it all right? Is it all right? Anybody got any thoughts of want me to put anything elsewhere? I think it's looking pretty sorted now. Got a couple of stones here just to.
Yes, you don't want to like overkill it, do you?
No, exactly. I just thought a couple of stones, just to, you know, I like creating a little bit more of a varied topology, so to speak. And yeah, now I wanted to add a little bit more height, so I've got a few bits. I'm just going to put like a couple of little dead tree type style things in.
Yeah,
nothing too big. Just you know, just something to add a bit more height to the situation.
Mark said start over, I would.
Thanks, dude. Alright, I'm going to move that. Put that one there.
Yeah, that's a big old log outside at pyramid.
Yeah, you got to watch it, haven't you? Got to be careful. I'm not adding too many of these. I'm just going to add one more. This is like my little dead tree area. I'm just adding at the back. One more. So this is just my little tree graveyard right here. There we go. That'll do. Right. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm quite liking that. I've got a couple of just little slithers of birch bark, which I'm just going to lay on the sand, just again to just mix things up a bit. What I love about these little strips of birch bark, man, because they're all just filed up, aren't they? You know, just like really.
Yeah.
They're just really nice for adding a little bit of extra kind of texture to the scenario. I think that's it. I'm just going to put a few more stones in, and that is going to be it, I think. What do you reckon, dude?
Yeah. And this week on Mitch's Unseen Shopping Town.
Is there anybody saying anything that I need to know about?
Did you just know talking about shows?
Oh, okay, cool. Go on then. Who's going to make me jealous? Tell everyone's going to BTS except me.
Sarah Carden's just tuned in.
Sarah's in the house. How's it going, Sarah? Welcome, welcome. You have missed all the... You've nearly missed it. But we've basically just built this from scratch, from the bottom up. Just a couple of stones. There you go. Just going to add a couple more. The different coloured stones, and then I think I'm done, dude. I think I'm done. I think we've achieved what we set out.
And then we can see some beetles.
Then we're going to see some beetles. Don't worry, guys. We are going to see some beetles. I just want to add 1 or 2 more stones. I'm so excited about this. I might even ask Becky if I can have this in the living room. What do you reckon my chances are? Do you know the first thing she'd say? Where's the lid?
Get out? Yeah.
That's the first thing she'll say. She won't. I'm not sure.
She said before, if it were a nice fancy tank.
Yeah. I think she might go for it. I think she might go for it. It's got some succulents in. What more does she want?
Yeah.
A bit of green stuff for the missus. Anyway, guys, what do we reckon? I think I'm done. I'm loving it. Loving it. Loving it large.
Loving it like dude.
I think I'm done, everybody. We just need the beetles. So is that all right, everybody? What do you reckon? Is that good?
Stone at top's upside down.
Thanks, Andy. I knew I could rely on you. But seriously, guys, I think I like it. I feel like I've forgotten something. The beetles! Right, guys, I'm just going to have a quick drink. Anyway, Sarah, welcome. I hope you're all right. Thank you so much. You have missed all the cool bit where I built it, but we're just about to add the beetles, so I can't say any more than that. Let's just do it. I just need to sweep the table because my OCD is killing me.
I don't think there's any moss in, is there, Mitch?
What's that, sorry?
You won't need any in there, will you? Moss.
You know what? I thought about adding. I've been drying out some more moss today. I've got some dry. I wasn't sure whether it needed it. I don't know where it's going to go. I could put a couple of little strips in, couldn't I? You know, just to.
Yeah.
I don't really know if they're adding anything to it now. Because I'm not. To be honest, I'm not. They like it dry. They like it bone dry generally, and I'm not. I basically wouldn't add moss to increase any kind of humidity levels. Basically, they like it dry, and that's why. But in order to maximise any chances of them actually breeding and reproducing, I feel like we need this little oasis environment. So that's what I've done. But we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute when we put the after we've got the beetles in. Oh, thanks, Sarah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We do try, don't we, Gav? We try. We try and but we're doing something completely different, and that's. I feel like that's what.
And now for something.
I do honestly feel different. Like that's what makes it quite interesting. The fact that we mix things up. You know, we do rehousings. We do rehousings sometime. We do bioactive builds another time. I mean, desert bioactive build, dude. I mean, I've been pumped about this all weekend. And to be honest, it's I love it. Right, guys.
Mix it in with your substrate, Peter. That's what I used to do with old dry moss. I used to just mix it in with my substrate mix.
Absolutely. I'm going to. So basically, this is the enclosure that I've got my beetles in right now. Now, you'll see a distinct lack of activity. They are all underneath the cork bark right now, and I am a little bit. I do feel a little bit guilty about the fact that I'm going to have to disturb them after they've all gone to bed. There's like literally one out right here. You can't see it from this angle. But they're all underneath the cork bark, and basically they run around like mad hatters all day long. And then once it gets to about 5, 6 o'clock, they basically just disappear underneath the cork bark, and they just stay there. So I do feel guilty, but it's got to be done. I've got to get them out. So I'm going to get my little pot. And I'm going to get them out. So there we go, guys. You can't really see it very well because the light's not great. But there it is. That's the first one. Let me see if I can... The reason the light's a bit darker in here is because it was reflecting off the sides of the tank. But now I've got loads of stuff in the tank. I feel like it might be... we might not necessarily need it. There we go. That's a female right there, guys. Look how beautiful she is. So they're not as big as Anthea. But they are, I think they're actually more beautiful than the Antheas. What do you reckon, Gav?
Yeah.
They've just got slightly more intricate patterning, haven't they, with the black and white? They look more like the domino beetles, don't they?
Yeah.
And also they've got the round body shape, whereas the Anthea are a lot more streamlined, aren't they? They're a lot more slender and longer bodied. So they are smaller than the Anthea. And also, I don't know whether you've kept these. Did Jeremy say he's just got one of these?
Just one, yeah.
So he won't know, but I don't know whether anybody's kept Anthea as a communal species. I have, and they are very aggressive to each other. And you do get cannibalism. But these, I've had these now for about 6 weeks, and they've all been in the same tub. And so there's a male. You can see he's much smaller. So I've basically been keeping these together for about the last 6 weeks, and I haven't lost any. They've all been playing quite happily, nicely together. Whereas the Anthea, I think, if you remember, Gav, they were dropping like flies. It was like nearly every day I was like messaging Gav and saying, I've lost another Anthea. They would just take chunks out of each other, the Antheas do.
Thing here the same as well, weren't they? The green tiger beetles.
Oh, yeah, those green tiger beetles I had. They were just so aggressive. I had to just split them all. I had to just split them up because I think I lost about 5 in the first couple of days. Anyway, guys, there we go. Welcome to your new homes. So I think I've got 14 of these. Let me just do a quick recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Kaylee says the reminder of vice versa chocolates. They remind me of Rorschach from Watchmen.
Let's zoom in a little bit. And I'll just move the tank over a bit. There we go, guys. Look at them. Look, male straight on her. They don't mess about, these guys. They are basically, if anybody's ever kept blue death painting beetles, you'll know what I'm talking about. They're just like those. They're humping all the time. Every single day, they're basically at it. The males are on the females every single day, and that's why I was quite keen to try and see if there was any way, shape, or form I might be able to get them to successfully reproduce, because they're humping all the time, so I don't need to do anything there. They're not cannibalistic. They seem to just like live together without too many problems. All these things add up to basically a higher percentage chance of being successful at reproducing, at breeding them. Oh, there you go.
The papaya is ready.
There. Claire has a list. Claire has a list of slings. I presume we're talking about jumping spiders, right? Yeah. Sorry, she said JS there. Claire's got a list. So, quick public announcement. A lot of people who were in the chat for the jumping spider stream the other day, Claire was obviously a special guest on the stream, and everybody was really excited about the epic list of breeding projects in jumping spiders that Claire has. And she's just said there, she's put a list together. She's ready to let people know. So if you're at all interested in purchasing any jumping spiders from Claire, Aruna Exotics, she has a list. Go PM her over on, I know she's on Instagram and also on Facebook. And go message her and she'll hit you up with a list. So there you go. Good luck with that. Excellent. She's got some cool species, man. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that is all of them. So there we go, guys. I am going to get Criticam out in a sec. I don't know how good a footage we're going to get. So let's just move the tank.
That's awesome, is that, Claire? So she's only got 10 available, but you guys can have first pick.
There you go. Do we know what species they are? Did you say what species they were? Probably Regis, right? What species are they, Claire? So Claire's got 10 available. She's giving you guys in the chat first dibs. How cool is that? That is awesome. So there you go. Another reason to be in our streams, right, Gav? Because not only do you get people getting first dibs on everything that I'm showcasing here, we've also got people in the chat like Claire and Charlotte and probably Jeremy and a few other people who are all breeding stuff. Invert Kingdom, everybody. We've got some quality breeders in here, man. We've got some outstanding breeders coming to our chats, and hopefully we're all going to jump on the Claire bandwagon and give everybody in our chat first dibs on anything that they might have. So there you go. You've heard it here first. Claire's got 10 jumping spiders. P. Regis, I've just had confirmation. Claire, Aruna Exotic, she's got 10 jumping spiders. P. Regis, they are available. They'll probably go on the website, or she'll advertise them maybe tomorrow. So if you want first dibs on any of those 10 P. Regis slings, please contact Claire, because I promise you, as soon as she advertises it on Facebook, they will go immediately. Trust me, they will go, because jumping spiders these days are just selling like hotcakes. So message Claire, get first dibs. If you want a jumping spider, go and see her. There you go. Mandy says she wants one. Hit her up with a PM, guys. Hit her up with a PM. There you go. Awesome. Right, let's have a look at what's going on. Look at these guys, man. They're all out, giving us a right old treat. These are absolutely beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah.
I love these. And they're climbing. Look, this guy here. Can you see this guy here? I don't know if you can see him. Oh, no, you can't see it because I didn't realise I've not got the whole shot in. So, yeah, we've got one here. It's actually climbing the tree graveyard that I've created. There's one climbing. So they like to climb. Maybe I need to add a couple more higher trees in there somewhere, like in the middle, put like a couple of dead trees in there.
Yeah.
Or do you think it'll be too much?
Maybe you should have kept some of those branches.
Which ones?
The ones that were in garden.
Oh, yeah, they might be a bit. I've still got stuff like this.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
So I'll just stick it right in the middle.
Yeah.
I'll put it here.
Take care, Greg. Thanks for tuning in, dude.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, there you go. It's off. I'm really glad you like the enclosure, dude. Do you know what I keep meaning to do, Gav? I keep meaning to take a photo of these bioactive builds that I keep doing and like just post them the next day and say, look what I did last night. If you want to see it, tune in. You know, that sort of thing. I should do that.
Yeah, you need to.
I'm loving these. All right, there we go. So I've just added another slightly larger version of my. There we go. Added to my little tree graveyard. So it's done. I haven't decided yet, Sarah. I probably should get them paired as soon as possible because I have no idea how old they are. Obviously, I know they're adults, but I don't know how long they've been adults. So yeah, I really don't know. But yes, maybe we'll do this. Maybe I'll do it Saturday night. Yeah, well,
it's so clumsy out there.
They will. I don't think they throw themselves off, but yeah, they will. They do climb to the top of things and fall, basically. So I am thinking about putting a more like a horizontal stick across the top, something a bit bigger. I'll tell you what I have got. I've got this stick here, which I could just lean up against the. Could just lean up against it and wedge it against the dead thing like that. Yeah, like that. Just add a bit more height. Just in case they like to climb, you know. Turn that over so it looks a bit.
We should all be allowed to climb.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody should be climbing.
Lewis wants to know how everybody is. They're all good.
Right, guys. I think that's it. There we go. They're everywhere. We've got one on top at Sphinx Head. We've got them all over the court bark. They're loving it. We've got another one down here next to the succulent. I think I'm really chuffed. I think we've done well here. I think it's sorted.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. Right, guys, I'm going to get a Criticam out so we can have a little bit of a closer look at these. Lewis is in the house. How's it going, Lewis? You all right, buddy? What do you reckon to me build, man? What do you reckon? We've just created this, man, right from scratch, from the bottom up. I know what it needs. I've forgotten it needs a water dish. So we're going to talk a little bit about their care and stuff in a minute. There's not really a lot to it, I'll be honest. They are quite easy. They basically look after themselves, but obviously it's just one or two little things that they like, that they need, like everything else. Yeah, I actually wanted a smaller version of this. This was a bit too big. I'll sort something out tomorrow. So basically, I've got they do need a water dish. So they like it dry, okay? They do like a dry environment, obviously. They're from North Africa. They're an arid, deserty species. They like it dry, but water is the elixir of life. Nothing on this planet survives without water, and these beetles are no different. So basically, they do like to drink. If you've ever had any predatory beetles like antheas, you'll know that they love to drink. So basically, it's a good idea to have a shallow water dish, like, you know, your standard sort of shallow water dish. I'm not going to put this in because this is massive, but I do have I do have a smaller version of this, but it needs to be shallow. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour in some of those small stones in the bottom, and I'm just going to keep it topped up with water because you do see them drinking quite regularly. So they do love a drink. Now, basically, they can't climb the sides of the plastic, so plastic or glass. So you can see there's one there, and he's been at it for about 5 minutes now, just basically going at it, 10 to the dozen, trying to get up the side. He'll give up. He will give up eventually. Maybe if I attach some kind of wind turbine to him, I might be able to produce enough energy to light the shed. Who knows? So I love this little guy. Have you seen this guy here? He's basically just been sat on top of the Sphinx's head for about the last 5 minutes.
We'll call that one Napoleon then.
It's just fantastic. I'm going to get Criticum out in a sec.
That's who's responsible for Sphinx losing its nose.
So, but they look fantastic in this enclosure now. I'm really, really chuffed about the little Oasis patch that I've created. So if you've just tuned in, guys, we've basically just created and built this this environment for the Graphipterus serrator, the predatory ground beetle from North Africa, from Egypt, and probably from surrounding areas as well. But they are absolutely beautiful beetles. Unlike their Anthea, which are another predatory beetle, they seem to get on quite well. I've had them together for about 6 weeks now. I've had no casualties. They don't seem to attack each other. You can see them all now. They're all quite chilled, but that's just because it's night time. They do tend to be quite relaxed. During the day, they do run around a little bit more. So, because obviously they're from North Africa, they like it relatively warm. I actually, at the moment, I'm keeping them in my window in the bug room where it's getting like nice sun throughout the day. They absolutely love basking in that sun.
Is that beetle in the window?
But they don't mind. They can actually tolerate, because they're a desert species, and obviously, if you know anything about the desert, you'll know that it gets absolutely freezing overnight in certain parts. So they can tolerate very, very low temperatures. So a drop in temperature overnight is actually really, really good for them, and it's perfectly fine. But I think they'd probably be okay if you kept it at a regular temperature as well. But yeah, anywhere between 24, 28, up to 30 degrees during the day is actually quite nice for them. Yeah, I think they do quite well at that. Now, like I said, they do need that water dish because they do like to drink. Now, food-wise, they do love other insects, basically. They are predatory beetles after all. They will eat a variety of things. I've been feeding them a mixture of crushed, freshly killed insects, chopped up, freshly killed insects, roaches, crickets, locusts, anything like that, really. And but they also don't mind a little bit of veg. I've been giving them a tub of, once a week I give them a jelly pot, and they'll basically graze on that throughout the week, and that just adds that little bit of extra moisture and also just a slightly different variation in their diet. But they do love to. They will polish off half a dozen freshly killed roaches through the course of the day between all 14 of them, no problem whatsoever. So that's the kind of diet that they do like. We can see this one now, look, crawling up the stick crawling up the stick. So it's confirmed they do love to climb. There we go, look. So they're all a little bit covered in sand right now, but they are absolutely beautiful.
Hey, look, Ma, no hands.
Look me, I'm on the way up here, losers, losers. Look at that guy. How wonderful is he, or she? I think it's a he, because he's a little bit smaller than some of the others.
Female turns up and they start breaking into dirty dancing. No.
I'm not trying to get it onto my finger. I'm basically trying to get it to focus, and it's just falling. So there you go. Right, I think it's time to get
it would have fallen.
I think it's time to get Criticam out and have a proper look while they're all out and about. They do like to climb. I think I'm definitely going to add a couple more of these like horizontal kind of higher sticks, I think. Maybe just add one more going from here over here, because it looks like they do like to climb. 2 or 3 of them are all climb. You can see them here, look. This one's climbing here, and then this one down here is climbing the sticks. So I'm a little bit tempted to add a few more bits and pieces, to be honest. Is that overkill?
Yeah, start getting crowded, won't it?
Yeah. I am going to add one more stick though. I think I'm going to get another piece like this and just add it across, just because it does seem like they are enjoying climbing. So and I think I need a slightly bigger piece of corkbark over there, because they do all like to huddle under like the same piece of corkbark overnight. So let's do that. Right, guys, it's time.
It's time. What's
it
time for?
It's time. Let's do this, guys. It's time for Criticam. Criticam. Mitch is your macro man. Criticam. Peeking into the unseen universe. And as yet again, I got so into the singing, I forgot to sort out Criticam while it was happening. Let's get this on. Now I don't know how this is going to work, because might have to shoot through the glass. I'm going to see if I can get over the glass with my super duper tripod.
No, but Mitch counted them as they were putting them in.
What's that?
Right. I can only count 11.
Let me. I just need to get something to put Criticam on, because I need some more height. Can't find what I'm looking for. I might have to just hold it. There we go. Look at the mandibles. I need something to give me some more height. I'm afraid you're gonna have to bear with me, guys. Oops, blimey. Right, just bear with me, guys. I need to find something to put Criticam on. I wasn't as prepared as I should have been, I'm afraid, to tell you guys. Luckily, there is one. It's turned its back on me. It's annoying. I was hoping it's going to turn round. And it's gone. Let's see if we can shoot through the glass. Not sure how good we're going to get through the glass. There we go, guys. So we are shooting through the glass, unfortunately, so it's not as clear as it could be, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. You see, they're perfectly tolerant of each other, aren't they? There we go, look. There's that, like, it's definitely got, it's got that, like, tiger beetle kind of head going on, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Same sort of look. So I can only imagine that the white flecks on its head, you know, like and around its body. You see how they look more like. I wonder if they're like just mimics of like sand specks, you know, like to help it kind of just like blend in a little bit.
Yeah, it could be. Or it could just be to break up the black.
Yeah.
Because the reflection of the sun on that.
Well, yeah, exactly. But there we go, guys. Absolutely beautiful. There we go. Graphipterus serrator. North African predatory ground beetle. Yeah, you're right, Jeremy. I was thinking that. Well, I actually don't know, Andy, whether or not I got these from Lee at Spider Shop about 6 weeks ago. It's when he had his North African. Well, it was about 4 weeks ago, wasn't it? When he had his North African import. I bought them when I got the. When everyone went mad for all the Cairo spiders. I got them at the same time, and I'm not sure if he's got any more. I'm really pleased I got these because I did and ah at first. Because I think he's only got Antheas at the moment. Francis, you say all the wonderful things. So there we go. These are absolutely beautiful. We got some better footage than I thought we were going to get, to be honest. It's actually shooting really well through the glass, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a new tank as well, isn't it? So
yeah,
super clear.
There we go, guys. I mean, I actually prefer these to the Antheas for a number of reasons, actually. One, I prefer the look of them. I think they look nicer. I mean, I like Antheas, don't get me wrong, but I actually think, because these are a little bit different, aren't they? The Antheas they're a little bit more commonplace, aren't they? You know, you can get them from many places now. I've never seen these. I haven't seen many places with these before over the years. But also, the main thing I like about them is the fact that they'll just live together. I was gutted when the Antheas all started eating each other.
Yeah, there's no need for it, especially when they're being fed.
Yeah, take it easy, man. See you later. Yeah, I mean, the Antheas, I was basically feeding them every single day just to try and stop them from like having a go at it. But they're just really aggressive towards each other. I don't even think they were eating each other just because they were hungry. They just didn't play nicely at all. Let's see if we can find. There we go. Look. I mean, they're just so close. If they were Antheas, they'd be nipping at each other. They just like I was constantly with antheas. I would constantly see like legs, bits of legs, or bits of antennae. Because they just like take chunks off each other. Whereas these guys just, you saw how close those two came together just then. They just like turned the other way. So that's why I've gone to the trouble of making this environment, because I feel like they could last. They could, if they're going to play together nicely, then there's a really good chance that they're going to live quite a while. I mean, I've no idea how old they are. Obviously, they're adults, but this is how they came off the boat. So who knows? So what do we know? We know that these are from North Africa. We know that predatory beetles, over the years, have basically proven almost impossible to breed in captivity. And I think the reason for that is because of what we were talking about earlier, Gav, and that's the fact that in the desert, because they habit ant and termite hills and nests, and they take on those chemical messengers, which basically make them invisible to other ants. Other ants basically think they're ants because they take on that same chemical signature, and that's how they come and go in the ant hills without being attacked by the ants. And then basically they collect up the brood of the ants, and they store them. So the brood of the offspring, the larvae of the predatory beetles, they feed off the brood of the ants. Now, there's obviously some chemistry, some chemical compound in the ants, or the ants' brood especially, that the larvae need in order to develop. Now, this is why nobody's been able to successfully breed these in captivity. So we need to have a think about this. And that's what we're going to do. And basically, the first step has been to try and recreate their natural habitat. Now, we don't have an anthill, but that's why I built the pyramid. And also, what I've done is, I've gone from a dry, arid area.
I'll deposit us out, Mitch.
Oh yeah, we're catching it right now. There we go. The ovipositor. There you go, look. Oh my goodness, Gav, sort this out, man. Look. It's laying. It's laying right there as we speak. Jeremy, you getting this, man? It's laying something, dude. Look, it's trying to release it.
Yeah. It was my camera that went off, not yours. I could see it all.
Oh my god. Wow. Well, it's gone, and I've. Oh, there it is. Is that it? Is that the same one? Oh, there it is. Look, there you go. Look, you can see it.
Yeah.
There it is. Look, there it is. Dude, Jeremy, look at that. Everybody. Sorry, I know I'm saying Jeremy, but I know Jeremy's got one of these at home. So, look, it's happening right in front of our eyes. This is amazing. Look at what a change of environment can do. Do you know what I'm going to do, Gav? You know the sand that I've had them in all that time? I'm going to mix it with the remaining vermiculite sand substrate that I've made up and just put it in a pot and leave it, because there could be anything in there.
Yeah. Save it.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get a bit closer. No, I can't get any closer because the glass is in the way. There we go. That's as close as I'm getting. There we go, guys. Look at that. That is absolutely amazing. I'm so chuffed. I can't believe it. I wish I could get closer, but the glass is in the way.
I managed to get a similar shot with Graphipterus Beetles.
Yeah.
Where she were doing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Jeremy. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, we don't know for certain exactly what is going on here. I mean, it looks like she's laying, but the ovipositor came out, and that's when she first started the process. The ovipositor's obviously gone now, and she's trying to release whatever that is. Sorry, she's moving around now. I'm losing her.
It looks like a deformed egg.
Yeah, I think so. It's not right, is it?
Yeah, they're usually about like a super tiny grain of rice.
Yeah,
is what they look like.
I think she's taking it. Oh no, it's it's the ovipositors, but I can see it from this angle. You guys can't see it. She's got the ovipositor out again. I think she's trying desperately to release it. I think it's coming off. It's coming off, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
It's gone, I think. It's just on the end now.
It looked like it came off then.
Yeah. I can't quite. Yeah, it's off. It's fallen into the crack in the cork bark. Spooky Dukes, you've missed all the action, man. You've missed all the action. Welcome, Dawn. How's it going? Eurovision. This has been 10 times better than Eurovision. We've got North Africa going on here. Never mind Europe. We all know Ukraine's going to win anyway. Anyway, I think it's gone. Oops. Anyway, that was exciting, wasn't it? Caught some serious behaviour going on there. That was awesome. It's kind of down there, look. You can see it just behind her. I don't know whether it's still attached to her or whether it's just wriggling around on its own. Don't really know what's going on. Until she moves, I don't really know what's happening. But it's there, look. You can see it moving around. I think it's still attached to the end of her ovipositor. That's why it's moving around like that. She's still trying to get rid of it. So I feel like we can't leave her until it's reached its conclusion. I will say though, that one that was perched on top of the Sphinx head, it's still there. I just wonder if it's like don't come down. Let me see if I can just move this. Let me see if I can. See, it's kind of stuck to the end of her ovipositor, look. I mean, we just don't know anything about them, do we? So we actually don't really know what they're supposed to look like when they first come out. I mean, I know what you mean, though. It doesn't look right, does it? It doesn't look like, they're normally like, just like you say, they're normally just uniform, like a grain of rice sort of appearance. She definitely doesn't want to be filmed. She keeps turning around. So there you go. Not really entirely sure what's going on there. She's obviously just trying to get rid. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
See, she might have been laying before when she were into the tub.
Yeah. It's like Jeremy's just said, it's potentially unfertilised, so that's why it's just coming out a bit of a mess. Interesting though. Fantastic bit of footage though. Very lucky. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Jeremy. Right then. Well, I think that's about as far as it's going. I think she's basically just going to try and, she's probably just going to drag that around for a little while until it drops off.
She was trying to kick it off with the legs.
Yeah, it's kind of just stuck there, isn't it? It's quite interesting because we've got like two other females just basically just watching her. There, look, we've got one there. We've got one there, and they're just watching her. Thinking, now, I wonder if they're giving us some like motherly advice, giving her a few pointers on what to do. I think one's like saying push, and the other one's saying push down, push down, push down. Come on, you can do it. But they're just giving her, they're just there, look, giving us some support. It's interesting how they're just there. And they're both females, just watching it. Brilliant.
See, if they live as a community, then they'll watch over her because she's at her most vulnerable at the moment.
Yeah, I actually do think that that's possibly what they're doing. Right, let's just pull back a little bit and get a view of the overall picture. There we go. Look, so they're just watching over her.
Much same way as assassins as well. They do the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. There we go, guys. We've been yet again. I mean, it just shows you, doesn't it? You know, like we've literally spent 20 minutes looking at them, and we've watched some awesome interactions and some behaviour, and it just shows you if you were to spend all day and all night just watching them with various cameras on different positions, just what other sort of like interactions and behaviours you might witness.
It's what I do with death earning beetles.
Yeah. There we go, guys. Well, there's not a lot else happening here because she's just basically just chilling now. But she needs to get that off. So I'm sure she will at some point. They seem to just be watching over her, making sure that because it's like you said, Gav. She's at her most vulnerable right now, and if they do live in communities in natural habitats, which I'm pretty certain they probably do, considering the way they're living together now, then you only imagine this is the type of behaviour that you're going to get when you get when you get any kind of species that live together as a communal. They do watch out for each other. It'd be interesting if you did have babies as to how they got on with their young. Do they all share responsibilities as a group? Like a lot of species do. It's not just the mum that takes care of the young one, her particular young one. It's all.
That's exactly what happens with assassins.
Yeah.
No matter which adult it is, they'll catch the food and let the babies come and join in.
Yeah. So we've got another trio here, look. They're all pretty chill, but I'm not surprised because it's the evening and they tend to be quite chill during the evening. So I think this is a male. So, so we've got a trio there, all hanging out together. We've obviously still got... Oh, there she goes. She's having another go at... Sorry, she's having another go at it, look. It's stuck fast, isn't it? Part of me wants to get the old tweezers out. But you don't know how... you don't want to start tugging on these things because you don't know how it's attached to her internal...
Well, she'll have a clasp on it, won't she?
Yeah, exactly. So, you don't want to start tugging on these things. Anyway, there we go, guys. I'm sure she'll get it off eventually. I feel like every time she goes through one of these little processes, it's starting to get a little bit more loose every time. So, in fact, I think it might be nearly off. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. It's just stuck, isn't it, on the end of the ovipositor? I mean, I'm not surprised because it's probably got the consistency of a bogey, and you know how they get stuck to your fingers, man.
Yeah, probably.
So there we go, guys. I'm going to start wrapping things up, I think, because I think eventually it is going to come off. So there we go. Those two other females are still watching over her while she goes through this. So that's really cool to see. And yeah, let's have a look at some of the others before we go. And then we've got the other ones up here. You can't really see. Right. I think I'm going to call it a day. But we got a really good look at them. We got some better footage than I even thought we were going to get. Mainly because I was concerned that that we weren't going to be able to see through the glass very well. But we've actually seen far better than I thought. So she's still got it stuck to her. You can't see it, but UK? What? Oh my goodness. I just thought everyone was just going to vote for Ukraine, in a show of world solidarity.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's still got it attached to her. They are moving around again a little bit. So you can see there's still quite a few. They're enjoying this corner with the cork bark. And then there's one down here that's basically, this one down here has not moved the whole time. Seems to really quite like it down by the succulent. And then we've got these ones up in this corner, all chilling. So they're all everywhere. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see once they realise that they can dig. I really hope that they dig. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to add a skirt all around the bottom half. I'm going to cut some pieces of card and stick them all around the bottom half of the enclosure, just up to where the substrate comes to. And the idea being that if I black it out, and then if they do decide to start creating a network of tunnels, they might just be inclined to tunnel right up to the edges of the glass, which they won't do if they see the light poking through. I don't think. I think there's more chance of them digging up to the sides of the glass on the outside of the glass if it's blacked out. So I'm going to do that just in case. I mean, I've seen them digging into the sand in the temporary enclosure that I had them in. So I just got the impression that they really wanted to start digging, and it makes sense, doesn't it, Gav? It makes sense. Like if you're living in like 35, 40, 50 degree heat in the North African desert, you know, just because you were born there and you've evolved there, it doesn't mean to say that you just want to bask out in that sun all day long. You know, there are going to be points in the day where you're going to want to just like take refuge in what I would like to consider like a small oasis that you see dotted around in certain parts of the desert. You know, you get like a tree and you get like a bunch of succulents, like maybe, or cacti all growing around the base of the tree. So you've got a little bit more humidity, a little bit of water, and it's a little bit cooler. So they dig down and they make these tunnels, and that's basically what I've wanted to create. I've wanted to create an area where they can go out and explore during the heat of the day if they wish. This is where I'm going to put the prey, and then I've slowly kind of created a gradient where it goes from a drier into a slightly more humid environment, and where I've created planted the succulents, and then the moist pot of vermiculite, which I'm hoping to encourage them to maybe lay. So we'll see. We'll see how they get on, shall we? So I think that's it, guys. I hope you like that. Thanks, Dawn. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've really enjoyed putting this together. It's been fantastic. I think it looks great. I am actually starting to think it might look nice with a lid, you know, with like an LED on it or something, like you know, something that might look quite nice. But I think it's fine. I'll come back to these. I'll do a little feeding thing. Maybe one night when we do another stream, a stream where I'm not doing quite so much. I'll get a beetle cam on the go, and get some food in there, and we'll do some feeding. We'll try and get some feeding footage. I think that'll be quite cool. So I think that's it. I think we're done. I'm going to get rid of Big Fish. I'm going to turn this light off so we can see. I'm going to turn this light off. Plus, there we go. So there we go, guys. My lovely little desert bioactive setup. I hope you like that. Tell you what, Gav, I think this might be one of my most enjoyable bioactive setups.
Yeah, it looks smart.
I think it looks pretty good, and I think they quite like it. I am going to add another stick like this, just coming up across, I think somewhere, just because they've shown that they like to climb. In fact, a lot of them are on the higher elevated areas of the cork bark where the cork bark's raised up, they all seem to be hanging out on top of the cork bark. So they all seem to prefer, I think. So I may even put another piece of cork bark in. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, guys, there you go. I think that's it. I hope everyone's enjoyed that. We will come back. I'm going to do a feeding video. I'll get them on the stream and do like a feeding thing. That'll be quite cool because they do love to eat. If I'd have thought a little bit more, if I'd had time, I would have chopped up some stuff and fed them tonight. But we ain't got time. It's 11:15. I think it's time to wrap things up. So I think that's what we're going to do. So there you go, guys. It's my it's kind of a bioactive desert enclosure. We've got the succulents creating a little oasis, and we've got the vermiculite trap, which I'm hoping that they'll be encouraged to lay in. We will revisit this. Me and Gav are going to go away. We're going to do some research. We're going to have a think about how we can potentially help any larvae that might be laid develop. But I think we need to think a little bit more about this symbiotic relationship between the ants and the beetles, and I think that's going to be the way forward. So we're going to revisit that. Definitely going to revisit this, guys. So there you go. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed it. I've really loved it. Have you enjoyed it, Gav? It's been good, hasn't it?
It has.
There you go. I think we've covered all the care, didn't we? I think we covered the care, basic care, food and environment and everything. So yeah, we're sorted. If you've just tuned in or whatever and you're only just watching it, please go back. There's absolutely loads of information about how we've done the setup, why we've done the setup, and the care for these lovely, lovely, gorgeous beetles. So I hope you've enjoyed it. We're definitely going to come back. Thanks, Gav. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you to everyone in the stream. Thank you so much to Funky Cactus, Nicola. Thank you so much for the succulents. They look absolutely amazing. I hope you like what I've done there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking to you regarding the next bioactive that I do. So just in case you were wondering, the succulents, they came from the Funky Cactus. They've got an awesome shop in Morley. They have the shop. They also have an online presence. They do send in the post. So please go support them. They are a local, small, but awesome business dealing in cactus, succulents, and all sorts of other exotic plants. So please check them out. So that's it from me. That's it from Gav. Thank you so much to everyone in the chat. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'm really, really, really happy about this. I really love it. I'm going to look at it for a long time, I think. So take care, guys. Thank you so much. And have a great rest of your weekend. Good night from him and good night from me. Bye, everybody.